In today's video, I will be showing you how to make this pumpkin loaf. If this is something that you would like to learn, stay tuned and see you later. Welcome back. In an empty bowl, I will be adding 2 1/4 cups of flour. Then I will be adding 1/4 cup of cornstarch. After adding the cornstarch, I will be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's baking powder right there. And then half a teaspoon of baking soda. So here's my baking soda. I will be using half a teaspoon. Then I will be adding 1 tablespoon of salt. Sorry, 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg or nutmeg powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Because the taste of cloves is too strong, you cannot use more than 1/4 teaspoon for this recipe. So I sieved the dry ingredients together, and using my whisk I did mix everything. If you're here for your first time, I am THIS Cakes and Treats, creating contents on cakes, pastries and everything in between. So I'm done with the dry ingredients. So here I will be adding together the wet ingredients, beginning with 1 cup of sugar. Sorry, I am having a cold. Then I will be adding 1 cup of vegetable oil. This is a very easy recipe and perfect for your Thanksgiving holiday. So using my whisk, I mixed both of them together. Now I will be adding 3 eggs, room temperature eggs. After adding the eggs, I used my whisk to mix everything as well. Now I am adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and also 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. So using my whisk, I mix, and here is my 1 1/2 cup of pureed pumpkin. In making this pumpkin, I just boiled some pumpkin, and using my forks, I mashed everything so to give me this consistency. Now, still using my whisk, I mix everything together. This mix. Oh, now I'll be adding half a cup of whole milk, and this makes my wet ingredients. I will be pouring the wet ingredients over the dry ingredients, and still using my whisk, I'll mix everything together. At some point I will stop and use my spatula because I don't want to over mix. Again, if you're here for your first time, I am THIS Cakes and Treats, creating content on cakes, pastries and everything in between. You're going to love it right here as I create content every week. From now henceforth, I'll be creating fun holiday recipes that you can enjoy with your family during this very beautiful festive period. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Let me know where you're watching from so we can always talk in the comment section. I can always give you a shout out and recognize everyone that is very consistent on this channel. So here I am using the spatula to mix everything, making sure there are no streaks of of flour, just making sure everything gets combined. At this point, I had greased my loaf pan, so I will be pouring the batter into the loaf pan. Again, like I said, this is a very easy recipe, a one bowl recipe that gives you a perfect consistency and a perfect cake with the perfect taste. So I poured everything in the bowl. I had set my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit to preheat, and once I had poured everything into the batter, I did tap the cake tin. I first of all leveled the batter, and I tapped the cake pan to let any air bubbles out, and I put that in the oven and I let it bake for about an hour or until when the toothpick inserted comes out dry. So here is my cake ready after baking for about an hour, because this was a very high cake. So that's how the cake looked like. It is amazing. So I used a knife to help me release the cake from the cake pan, and and I put it on my cooling rack to cool. Then later on I put on the cooling rack to cool for a few minutes, and later on I did transfer it on a tray where I'll be serving the pumpkin loaf. Just continue to watch as I do this. This looks so good, and it actually tasted so good. My kids are not very much pumpkin fans, but they actually love this cake and they kept eating and got finished. So that's how it looked like, very moist and tastes extremely good. The combination of all the flavors brought something magical. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, life can get bitter. Eat cakes to make it sweet. Until next week, bye.